lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He missed the complete. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
We've rounded up all of the Outlaws, and we're back for Saturday night short track racing in the USA. The Bootleg Racing League is where the action is tonight from Southern National Speedway. From the Tar Heel State, hello, and welcome to another edition of the Bootleg Racing League on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live. Sean Ambrose here along with Dawson Brock high up in the press box to bring you all of the action tonight. In the truck is the hardest working man in sim motorsports, broadcasting the one and only Joe Peak, twisting and tweaking the dials for us tonight. And of course, the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard, is our much sought after camera guru this evening. Dawson, last week, J.R. Shepard notched another victory on his ever expanding belt. Mr. Donnie Moore fought him right down to the final caution, and that would end the race at Five Flag Speedway. Dawson tonight, JR, will have to start 10th again and come from deep in the field for another victory. But first, all of these drivers have to find the best way to get around Southern National Speedway. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Thanks. Southern National Motorsports Park is a banked 4/10 mile track located near Kenly, North Carolina. In its early days, this place was host to the Whelen Southern Modified Series way back in 1998. Although the facility was closed after the 2008 season, it was reopened back again in 2012 and is now host to many short track series along with the NASCAR Whelen Southern Modified Tour Series. But for more on the track, let's take a ride around in the GSRC SK Modified.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik and this is Southern National Motorsports Park in the GSRC SK Modified. Without further ado, let's show you how you get around this joint. Hot lap, looking to find the bottom right here. No other place to run. Hook that bottom right off of turn 2, swing it right out here to the fence, and then back down into turn 3. This track is a nice little short track, doesn't give you a whole lot of time to think. You just kind of have to drive this place on instinct. But if you do make a mistake, there is a lot of banking, as you can see right up there, that will catch you in case you have a mistake, unless that's off the bumper of the competitor around you. Then that wall will be waiting for you up there. But turns 3 and 4, find it right there underneath the start-finish line, back into turn 1. It's a very, very rhythm-based track. Once you get a good rhythm around here, you're fairly unstoppable, even to the point that I set my personal best time here on the 4th lap on the track. Really, as you're going to watch these guys go, this track is so good for racing. I mean, especially if you're up there on that second groove, you might be able to get a good run off of the corner and try to pinch them down, whoever you're racing against, off of the corners. Southern National Motorsports Park is bound to put on a good show for these SK Modifieds as the race progresses on. But without further ado, I'm Brian Yazik. This is the GSRC SK Modified. Enjoy the show.
There's a recorded lap around Southern National Motorsports Park. But you know what? We'd like to actually talk to a driver who's probably got a pretty good idea of what it feels like on this track under the lights tonight. Mr. Lowell Jewell, big winner from the truck race just a few minutes ago. Congratulations, buddy. How you feeling tonight?
Thanks, Sean. That was a fun race.
So, tell me, you got a shot here in the modified?
I don't know if I got a shot. I think I think all of the field's got a shot tonight. It's a fun track and it's a little slick tonight.
Well, that's where I was going next. You know, what does it feel like? You say it's a little slick. Obviously, the old adage that loose is fast. Does that also mean fun? You did say it was awful fun out there.
It's fun, but while loose is fast, sometimes slow is fast too.
Slow and steady wins the race. I got you, Lowell. 10-4, buddy. All right, well, listen. Go get the number 5 SK Modified out there and get a couple more practice laps in here while you can. And we're going to see you on the podium here at the end, hopefully.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
All right, Lowell. And that's Lowell Jewell, the boss here in the Bootleg Racing League. Wanted to keep it short with him because I know he wants to get a few more laps in here. But Dawson, last week, J.R. Shepard did it again. You know, he pulls off another win and another track. And Donnie Moore, though, did exactly what he needed to keep this points race really, really close. He finishes right behind JR in the race. Why don't you talk to us about the points where I think there's a similar theme going on there?
Yeah, last week we saw J.R. Shepard and Donnie Moore were actually tied. Shepard went on to win last week's race, and Moore, he did about as well as he could getting that second place finish. Damage control, that's what he had to do. So that's still a close race here, and we'll see tonight. Donnie's got to now go back on the attack and maybe get that lead back. Lowell Jewell, Jeff Sharp, they're back there, but they're not quite out of it. All of them, actually. Philip Temple's Jeff Sharp just separated by 2 points. But this is not a done deal yet. All it takes is for 1 or 2 good races for these guys, and they're right back into this championship talk.
Yeah, and, Lowell... Sorry about that. Lowell having a really solid season. Got some great momentum going right now. Like I said, he won the truck race here just a little while ago. That's about as much excitement as you're going to get out of Lowell, so don't worry, folks. I'm sure he's pretty confident. Maybe a little slow on track right now, but certainly maybe saving something for these boys here. And you know what? Speaking of boys, we got a new one tonight. Brian Dean, the number 23 SK Modified out here this evening. There he is. There's Brian. Apparently, Brian is looking for a sponsor for that car, so directing any of those inquiries to him on iRacing, and I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you. So our best though to Brian Dean out here for the first time tonight with the Outlaw Modified Series on a Saturday night, and we'll see what he can do here tonight. Right now here in practice, he sits up middle of the field in 6th there, not bad. Well, listen, we've introduced the track, we've talked to a driver, we looked at the point standing, talked about some of the guys in the field. Why don't you give us some race details, Dawson? What are we doing tonight?
Well, we're going to be doing 100 laps, no scheduled pit stops, typical stuff here. The inverted grid, top 10, that means that last week's winners, J.R. Shepard, and the other podium sitter, Donnie Moore, they're going to be starting way in the back, so they're going to have to work their way up through the field, and in the meantime, saving tires. You're not going to be allowed to change tires. There will be one quick repair that they will be able to use throughout the race, but typically you're going to have to want to save that in case you catch up into trouble later on.
Yeah, and you know what? Looks like we've got about 14 cars so far. Maybe a couple more show up before we get started, but we'll have a pretty healthy field of SKs here. This track, 0.4 of a mile. We don't run a lot that are actually 0.4 of a mile, and I do think with the 17 degrees of banking and it being a little bit progressive, I do think there's an opportunity to work in a bit of a second groove. Maybe try and make an attack from the outside here tonight. We've got a good field. I know Matt Hoos. I talked to him just a little while ago, and he said that he felt like his job here tonight was really just stay out of the way and not get in the way of a championship. But I don't think Matt Hoos would show up if he didn't want to win the race. And as sure as I say that, he just goes up to the top of the practice board now. Unlike qualifying, practice sometimes can be a little deceiving. Sometimes somebody will leave a little meat on the bone, not to expose everything, Dawson. But what do you like here about Southern National Motorsports Park?
Well, I actually don't have too much time on this track. This is actually a relatively new track to the iRacing server, but just looking at it, looking at the racing, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think, like you said, you might have an opportunity for that second line to come in. iRacing has a dynamic track where that bottom line, if everybody's using it, it's going to heat up. And we'll have to see if some guys are going to take a risk, maybe try that top side, and maybe we'll look later on. I'm thinking probably past lap 50. If we get some green flag runs in, get some rubber down on the bottom of that track, maybe we can see if some guys will work in the top side.
And we do start, I'm glad you mentioned the track state, we start with a 30% track state, so there is a little bit to work with there already. It goes down to whether or not guys are willing to commit to that line up top to actually get some rubber in there. Here in practice so far, guys have been experimenting with different lines. Some drivers trying to run up there and kind of that center of the turn, and it seems to be working. So we'll see if enough rubber does get laid down out there. We may see a pass from the outside, but Matt Hoos still sitting on top. Just to give you an idea of how incredibly fast it is around this 0.4 of a mile track, 13.3 seconds is the number you're trying to hit right now. I don't know if we'll have anybody go 13.2, but 13.3 is that is just wicked fast. You're turning a lot of speed as you come down that straightaway and you throw it into turn one. You're really essentially up to about 110 miles an hour, and you've got to find a way to keep that grip through the center of the turn.
Yeah, and I think another big factor, I know I've seen it just watching practice here, at outside wall, as you get into that exit, you can easily get into the gas way too early, and it's really hard. That wall will go out and grab you, and I think that might be a problem. I've seen it in practice. We'll see if the guys can maybe tone it down just a little bit and back up their exit just a little bit. But I think that might be something to watch for as well.
You know, it does look like turn 2. It's sometimes we see turn 4, maybe more than turn 2, but I've already seen several guys have trouble navigating getting off of turn 2. That might be the trouble spot tonight, where you're making that contact with the wall, where you're just getting back to the, like you said, getting back to the throttle maybe just a little too quick. And hey, listen, this modified will do strange and unpredictable things if you push it too hard. Now, making contact with that outside wall doesn't always mean your race is ended, but you want to limit those as much as you can. This car is not fragile, but it's not invincible either. And you see there on screen, I don't know who that was, but someone climbing the wall there. I think that might have been. It was a Budweiser car. The 75. Yeah, that's right, John Hine. Getting a piece of that. There he is, going to take another run at it, but he's running out of time. We've only got just a couple minutes left before we go green here tonight. Tell you what, Dawson, I'm going to put you on the spot. You've had a chance to watch a little bit of practice, and you've seen these drivers run a little bit. What do you like tonight?
Well, I know we've seen Shepard's been fast, Moore's been fast, but I really like that one time that Hoos put down. Hasn't been here for a couple weeks. He's going to be starting pretty far back, and like you said, he doesn't want to get in the way, but I'm very sure if he's got a chance at the win, he's going to take it. So I'm going to pick Matt Hoos tonight.
Okay. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I do think that these things have a way of working themselves out in the end, and I think if Donnie Moore can stay out of trouble, a big win would go a long way in his hopes for a championship. Things are winding down. I think we've only got a couple races left after tonight, so a win for Donnie Moore I think is maybe in order. I don't want to put too much pressure on him because I think J.R. Shepard's going to be right there with him for the entirety of this race. They will work their way back up through the field, and they will do it with precision. And once they get up there, I think the battle will be on. But I just think Donnie tonight might be the car to beat. Right now, one of the guys out on track that's put the most laps in here in practice, David Loomis, on his way to practicing almost as many laps as he's going to run here in the feature. I think he's got 90 laps in right now here in practice. Loomis, for his effort, he's got a 13.5 flat on the board as his best. He can get just a little bit quicker, find a little speed here. When we get started, David might have a shot to get up here on the podium.
Yeah, I can't quite yet. iRacing's not showing me the grid and how they're going to line up, but I think we saw it last week. Some of them guys up front were able to stay up there until the end. I don't actually remember who was that other car that was running out in front.
I was Donnie Moore.
No, I think it was the one who wrecked at the end. It was it? It wasn't Lyman Cooler.
Yeah.
Who am I?
I lost you right now. I'll be honest with you. I'm focused, ready to get on this grid. I'll tell you what. I'll think about it for a second here when I get a moment and see if I can recall. Right now, though, we go up to the starting grid and on the first row, David Loomis on the pole tonight. Jeff Kendrick going to start second. Row 2 going to go to Lowell Jewell and Donnie Moore. Go ahead and take row 3.
All right, J.R. Shepard and Lucas Stinziano. And after them, Brandon Limecooler and Dustin Powers.
All right, row 5 going to go to J.J. Garrett in 9th, and 10th tonight going to be Ryan Tetzler. And
starting
then we'll go back to... Oh, I'm sorry. I
thought you paused. Maybe you were waiting for me. I didn't want to... All right, Matt Hoos, my pick for tonight, starting in that 11th spot. Brian Dean, the newcomer tonight, going to start 12th.
All right, last row is going to be John Hine in 13th. And John Holcomb in 14th. And man, could that have been any more disjointed? I'm sorry there, Dawson. I left you hanging out on that one, man. All right. No more of that. Let's get to the racing on track because, well, the lights are out. They're lined up. They're ready to go. The Outlaw 100 about to get underway here. David Loomis going to show us the way around here to get us started. Jeff Kendrick with a chance up here on the pole. The green is out. Loomis on the pedal across the line. Kendrick with a nice start. Oh, and he runs up the track. Donnie Moore almost makes contact with him there. Lowell Jewell down on the inside with a tremendous start.
Wreck. Big wreck. Oh, that's Brandon Limecooler. Got turned there on the front stretch. Oh.
Well, I think what you're going to see is they start to try and make it 3 wide here off the exit. And there's the 25. They're in the middle, Dustin Powers. And you're going to see Limecooler go around. Man, that was a mess.
Yeah, it looked like Stinziano just got a little bit stacked up, and they ended up going through wide. And
Ryan Detzler.
Cars out early.
Yeah, on board with Ryan Detzler. He's going to catch some of this too. Watch this view on board with him. He's going to get off the turn here, and then things are going to just go haywire. He makes that contact, gets through it fairly clean. Not as much contact as I thought he initially had. Wow. Now, to be honest with you folks, in that truck race earlier that we of course we didn't broadcast, but they ran. They only wound up with, I think, 2 or 3 cautions. That race was a really fast one. Won again by Lowell Jewell. I do believe these guys will settle in and get going to a good race here in just a moment. But David Loomis, Jeff Kendrick get off to a good break. Lowell Jewell able to hang with them. J.R. Shepherd was actually able to move up a spot and get in front of Donnie Moore. So J.R. a little bit closer to the front here. So it didn't last long, but the initial start of the race was a good one. We'll see if maybe we not try to make it 3 wide here when we come back to Green Flag Racing, at least not here on lap 3.
Yeah, now you said Shepherd all the up to 4th. Now Moore, I don't know. We'll see how big that inside line is here on this restart. Moore's going to be starting on the inside. Maybe he can get underneath Shepherd and maybe get that spot back.
Now Brandon Limecooler still at the front of the field.
I think he'll get waved around.
Yeah, there we go. There's the wave around. And the green is out. We're away. There goes David Loomis down to the first turn. Nice break for Loomis. Lowell Jewell getting a good run there. He gets up to second. Kendrick really Moore struggling on the outside.
Donnie Moore able to get past Shepherd as well and working on Lowell Jewell.
Yeah, it was a really, really great start by Donnie. And that does slot him now into third. Looking to the inside of Lowell Jewell. Wheel to wheel across the line. Oh, Donnie looks smooth so far. Nice smooth start. J.R. Shepherd almost gets a piece of the Nerf bar there, Lowell Jewell.
And another
and
caution.
The caution's out. I think it was Ryan Detzler, and man, the trouble out of turn 2 for Detzler. That trouble spot I talked about, I thought it was there tonight, and early it presents itself. Ryan stuck up there at the top, in the garbage there, and it just drew him right up into the wall, and he hits it hard. I would imagine he's going to probably want to bring that in for a repair. Lucas Stinziano actually going to get a wave by here, get one of his laps back. Lucas lost a few laps on that first caution. His car was on its lid and he had to take a tow. You saw in the replay, Detzler we were on with our newcomer Brian Dean during that replay. Just saw Detzler come out of the pit. Looks like he did take that one fast repair he'll get this evening.
He's going to have to stay out of trouble now because 2 strikes, you're out. I guess we're playing some slow-pitch softball rules.
All right, let's run it down for you here real quick. We've got David Loomis, still your leader. Now, Donnie Moore is going to restart this race second. J.R. Shepherd's going to restart third. Down on the inside there, that second row. Lowell Jewell going to start fourth. Row 3 is going to be Jeff Kendrick and Dustin Powers. Dustin has moved up 2 spots, so your front 3 rows here look pretty strong to get us restarted. J.R. Shepherd going to get a chance to start on the inside, though, right behind our leader. David Loomis is going to have to be really keen here about how he handles this opening lap here after the caution. The lights are now out on that pace car. With the Ford Mustang pace car out here on track this evening. And as we are in North Carolina this evening, it's my understanding that Junior Johnson is driving the pace car this evening. So there we go. And he takes the quick trick off, and the green flag is out. Look at Donnie Moore get that jump there on the top side. Whoa! He takes that spot away from Loomis immediately. Wow, what a run.
He might get a black flag for that. It looked like he beat Loomis to the line. I don't know how that works.
He did. I'm not seeing anything yet. It was green, and honestly, I think he's fine there. Nothing doing yet. J.R. Shepherd stuck back in third. Loomis still running good, but man, he gave it up to Donnie Moore there in the start. Maybe Loomis just fell a little bit asleep on the start. But JR in third. Here comes Lowell Jewell in fourth. Matt Hoos in the wall. Hoos with big trouble there. He hit it hard. We've got a replay of it. There's Hoos in the 21, the black and green car. That, boy, you almost wonder if that was some sort of trouble. Move for position here. J.R. Shepherd, we got to go live. J.R. Shepherd looking to the inside of Loomis. Loomis going to let him have it. Out of turn 2, he just lets him go. Loomis maybe trying to fight another day here, and now the yellow's out.
J.J. Garrett looking like he got into a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he was a little low in the turn there, and I think that slowed his momentum down just a bit, enough to where John Holcomb is going to maybe catch just a little bit of contact there that gets Garrett around. I certainly don't think Holcomb intended to do that. I think it's just the way it worked out.
Now, shortly after wrecking, Hoos come in and take his quick repair. So he will be a lap down, but he should be able to get that back on the wave around.
Yeah, I believe you're right. In fact, I think I heard Lowell come on and say we had a wave by. Pretty sure it was going to Hoos.
Yeah, and just when I saw Hoos's wreck, it looked like that veer farther up, Garrett and someone else made a little bit of contact, and he kind of saw that coming and tried to avoid it a little bit too much and got into that wall.
And unfortunately, J.J. Garrett has decided to take his car behind the wall. So that'll be the end of his night. But look at this front row that we're going to have to restart this race. A couple of familiar names there at the top.
Hoos will not get the wave around. Instead, they give it to Stinziano. I think that might have been because Hoos was on pit road when the caution was thrown.
Yeah, I think you're right. Exactly. And Luke is going to get that wave around. It's still going to leave him one lap down. That's all right. He's climbing his way back up there. Everybody's lined up, ready to go. Donnie Moore, J.R. Shepherd. Donnie going to get a chance to restart this as your leader. And there he goes. At the first commitment line, he is gone in a hurry. David Loomis getting a really nice jump there down on the inside. Prevents a jump from J.R. Shepherd. Shepherd kind of stuck up there right now. Not a lot of grip there yet. Here comes the SK of Dustin Powers. Already up to 4th place. JR with a little contact there. David Loomis showed him the Chrome Horn.
Yeah, stuck on the high side right now. Same with Lowell Jewell. He is falling back. Hopefully he can get back in line and make up the positions.
Yeah, John Holcomb in the Lawrence Towing Outlaw. The Lawrence Towing SK Modified. He has worked his way up 9 spots. Holcomb already up to 5th. Oh, and Donnie Moore with trouble up front. He got a piece of the wall coming out of 2. Not quite a tank slapper, but he certainly brushed it. JR not really able to take advantage of that. JR currently, you see there on screen, not far behind Donnie at all. Donnie, though, with good pace and a good line right now, are able to keep him off. Loomis sits there in 3rd.
Loomis able to keep up with the 2 leaders right now. He's got to stick with them. Shepherd with a big run down that straightaway, and he's right behind Moore.
Yeah, JR definitely gobbling him up. And tell you what, Donnie looking over his shoulder right now. We saw him slap the wall once. Don't want to see him do it again. This is real pressure. Yeah, Donnie gives up the bottom there to JR. JR going to take a look inside in the middle of the turn. Oh, this is a drag race down to 3. Donnie fighting out of 4. J.R. Shepherd, now your leader. And now David Loomis looking to the bottom there. Donnie going to be very careful here. Going to try and slot in. He does get, no, he stays up in the center of the turn. Lets Loomis continue to have the bottom. Great battle for 2nd place. Now Loomis clears him. Moves up in front of Donnie. Donnie crosses him over, going into 3. And then backs off.
Try it one more shot. No, he's going to back out.
JR really starting to break here. Now a 2nd on the field while Donnie and David continue to fight back there. This is really giving JR a chance to really remind everybody that he is, he's the champ. And he's awful fast.
And we got another caution. Brandon Lime Cooler.
Yeah, I think it was Lime Cooler having a little bit of trouble. We'll watch the replay, but man, it looked like it was off a turn 2. You're going to see him get into 1 and through the center okay. And then as he gets off the turn there, it starts to come around. He can't recover quick enough. And it snaps on him, and unfortunately, he beats himself up and the SK, the right rear of that SK up just a little bit more. And Matt Hoos will get this wave by, as just confirmed by Race Control. Lime Cooler, like just there at the end, picking up a little more damage on that SK Modified. He has not been in for a pit, so right now he's hanging on with the damage he has.
I believe he used his quick repair earlier in the race.
No, I don't see that he pit. Now, he may have, but I don't see that he came in for a pit, actually.
You're probably right. I don't know.
Yeah, the Duke Crew SK Modified looking a little bit rough, and it wasn't all from just that spin. He certainly has not had the best luck this evening, so knowing that, he's probably thinking, you know what, maybe I should keep that fast repair in my pocket. I still have over half of this race to get done.
Yeah, he was that little extra damage there. He was involved in that first wreck, but did not take his quick repair. So he is definitely saving that for later on.
Well, the lights are out again now. The pace car peels off very, very early here. Well, I doesn't peel off early enough. the green flag goes out before the pace car is actually off the track. So continue on these restarts to watch these drivers get going. Now, the green is out, and here comes J.R. Shepherd with Donnie Moore. Again with another great start there on the outside. David Loomis there down on the bottom in third. Not enough of a gap there for Donnie to work his way in. He's going to have to continue to fight up top. Here comes Dustin Powers on the top side. JR still in the lead. Oh, Dustin Powers gets a piece of the wall there coming into turn 3. John Holcomb down there on the bottom in fourth. Loomis still holding Donnie Moore to the outside. Now it's John Holcomb getting in there. Loomis! Tight. Oh, and that's going to bring another caution flag. Big wreck on the backstretch.
It's like Matt Hoos involved, John Hine. Oh, quite a few cars.
Yeah, and it all started with Loomis getting tight there, coming out of turn 2. He was down on the bottom, maybe a little bit too much on the bottom. That tore up a lot of race cars there. Here was what Jeff Kendrick saw, Dawson. Kendrick gonna try and get through there and just can't avoid it.
It's narrow and not really anywhere to go. The cars were everywhere.
Yeah, and Loomis, once Loomis had lost the grip and that car snapped on him like it did, he's just a passenger. There's nothing he can do at that point.
Yeah, you're not gonna save it, and yeah, it's just damage control at that point. Now the problem for Loomis and them other guys is they weren't able to get their cars back to pit road, so they had to take a tow, which will cost them some time, and now they're down a couple laps.
And poor Matt Hoos making his return this evening. He got caught up in a little bit of that too. Sure, they're going to have a little bit of damage on he is coming. Matt's coming in the Krankenstein SK Modified.
Loomis and Kendrick were also involved in that, and they're already 3 laps down.
All right, and Luke Costanziano going to go ahead and get another lap back. That is going to put him back on the lead lap of the rest of this field. The lights are going to go out on this pace car. John Holcomb going to get to start on the inside of row 2 this time. Dustin Powers, there he is again. He's now found his way up here to the second row. We're going to start him just like we did last time. J.R. Shepherd on the front row. Donnie Moore to the outside, and the green flag is out. Donnie continues to get a great run off the top side when we get restarted, but it's not enough. J.R. Shepherd gets him there in the turn. He's got the position down on the inside. Here comes John Holcomb. Holcomb laying the chrome horn there to J.R. Shepherd.
Donnie's still stuck on that high side. He's got to don't get filed back like he did last time. A little bit of the wall that time.
John Holcomb putting a lot of pressure on down from the bottom side. Holcomb going to move up to second.
Single filed the entire field.
Yeah,
we might see our green flag run right now.
Could be. These guys could be tired of messing around at this point, and it's time to go. We've got about 45 laps to go this time by. J.R. Shepherd in the lead. Here comes John Holcomb. Not far. Getting a nice run there down on the bottom. Donnie Moore still sitting in second. Dustin Powers in fourth. Lowell Jules still hanging on to a top 5 run.
See, Moore is closing the gap on Holcomb, and now he's going to get a run to the inside. Holcomb drives it in deep.
Maybe too deep.
Exit.
This opens it up for Donnie.
Just behind this battle, we have Dustin Powers. He's going to look to get to the inside of Holcomb, but it looks like they will stay single file, and Holcomb will slide into third.
Donnie Moore able to finally put a little bit of distance between him and Holcomb. This has opened things up for Dustin Powers, though. Powers starting to get a bit of a run there at John Holcomb. Sorry, John. And again, Lowell Jules still kind of patiently sitting there in 5th. Nobody behind really looks poised to make any kind of a move just yet. Stinziano has worked his way up to 9th. Brian Dean does find himself in 10th. Remember that, folks. Brian Dean, 10th place.
Now with the little bit of racing that Moore had to do, Shepard has come out to a big lead, about just over a second.
Yeah, J.R. Shepard is feeling it again, and when he's feeling it, everybody else is crying, buddy. Because JR's got another one of those magnificent runs going. He was the fastest car on track that last time by, and man, he's the fastest car again. So not much changing up front except the number of laps left, really. And it's J.R. Shepard's race to win right now. Donnie Moore's got a great little fight going on back here with John Holcomb. And, Dustin Powers, I think, can still be a factor in this race. He's hanging out there, not too far behind. I mean, right now he's, just about a half a second behind John Holcomb. So anything can happen here still. But this race is getting away from us quick, Dawson.
Yeah, right now Moore's more racing against that clock. Laps are just ticking off. And I think he got a great start. We saw he was side by side with Shepard, but that opened up the door for Holcomb, and they were stuck racing. That kind of hurt Moore, getting that good start.
Man, I gotta tell you what, this battle back here, Brandon Limecooler, Ryan Detzler, Lucas Stinziano, and now the newcomer, Brian Dean, these 4 are really, really mixing it up. Limecooler still working with that badly damaged SK Modified. It was Dean just overtaking Lucas Stinziano. Just before that, they were 3 wide. Limecooler still able to hold Detzler off.
As you see, even behind them, Kendrick, he's also up there. He's 3 laps down along with Loomis, but they're able to just crack the back of this pack.
Boy, Detzler really, really stalking Limecooler right now. He really thinks there's a position there. Keep digging, buddy. You got 30 to go.
If you can get just a good exit off of the corner and get a run down that straight, that's really what you got to do to get a good pass on around here.
Nothing has changed up front. In fact, Holcomb has lost a little bit of ground to Donnie Moore. Donnie might be a little more focused on whether or not he can catch J.R. Shepard right now. Thought I heard some contact out there somewhere. But what I am seeing right now is John Hines starting to put some pressure on Lowell Jewell for that 5th spot. Lowell having a great season. Won the truck race earlier. He's got himself up to 5th. And Hines not putting as much pressure on now, but Lowell looks to be actually catching Dustin Powers a little bit now. So maybe it's Lowell with a little bit of pressure behind, thinking, you know what, maybe I'll go get this spot in front of me and worry less about what's going on behind me.
Yeah, with a solid top 5 finish here, Joel, he'll be able to extend his lead in the
Detzler. Yeah, Detzler. I'm sorry, Dustin Detzler just overtook Limecooler, who had big trouble coming out of turn 2, and then Detzler pulls off that pass out of turn 4. Limecooler did a great job of saving the car. Now Stinziano, though, getting by Limecooler. Ooh, Limecooler tried to get back down to that bottom line. He does. He's trying to cross over Stinziano. Stinziano keeps it up top, does not shut the door on him. Leaves it open for Limecooler, but Stinziano with a great drive off of 4. Hangs on to his 8th position. There's Brian Dean back there in 10th still. Limecooler seems to be struggling with the car a little bit more here.
Just behind these guys, we have Loomis and Kendrick. Right now, they're both 3 laps down. If we would get another caution, that would be the battle for whoever gets the lucky dog. They're kind of closing the gap on this little pack. I don't think that they would go much farther here and mess with the lead lap cars.
Okay, got just under 20 laps to go. We're going to have 18 laps this time by. Donnie Moore is actually starting to close the gap just a little bit. It's been very, very small gains, but he is doing it a little bit at a time. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there. The tires obviously are now an issue. We've had that green flag run that you talked about, Dawson, after we took that green a little while ago, and I just don't know if Donnie's going to have enough time or enough tires to get there. He's still the fastest car on track, and he has been for about the last 5 or 6 laps, but again, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. And just as I say that, J.R. Shepherd was the fastest car on track, so he's probably hearing me right now, saying that, hey, Donnie's coming, and said, no, you know what, I'll show you. 15 laps to go. I'm the leader, and I'm now a second and a half ahead of Donnie Moore.
Yeah, Shepherd, it's almost, he must be watching his broadcast, because just as he said that, he turned it up just a little bit extra, and he's gaining just barely a tenth now. Ooh, puts down another good lap. Wow.
And Lime Cooler under attack here. There's Dean right behind him in the 23. Dean trying to get his race on here this evening. Got Kendrick right behind him there in the 62. Kendrick several laps down. Lime Cooler trying to catch Stinziano here.
Now this battle right here, this is kind of for next week's pole position. Right now, as Dean sits, he would be the pole sitter. I don't think you would give up a point to just be the pole sitter next week. Is that just with that grid invert?
Yeah, Dean's a newcomer, not really a factor in the points championship. I think it serves him well to stay here in 10th, but boy, he's racing hard. He wants to make a good showing here in his first race. Lime Cooler, he can see that his car is damaged, thinks that, Dean's probably thinking, I can get this spot if I'm just a little patient here with 10 laps left to go.
Wait, Lime Cooler going on for Cinziano.
No!
The contact.
Yes, he moves up the track just a little bit and catches Brian Dean, who catches the wall and and did Lime Cooler hit it coming across the start-finish line? Wow, everybody on the edge. Good. The tires are gone at this point. Yeah, there he goes. There's Dean getting there to the bumper then again of Lime Cooler.
Looking, gonna go inside.
Great
to the bottom, contact and turned into the inside wall.
And that's gonna bring out a caution flag. This just didn't end well. It was such a great race. Honestly, I think Lime Cooler might have maybe turned the wheel a little bit too much to the left once they came off the exit, because they were fine once they came off the exit. Boy, that's just a racing deal. That's so close. Really, really going to be hard to tell, to say he did it, no, he did it. I just think that was a racing deal, honestly.
Yeah, both racing hard.
David Loomis going to have a really, really lucky time getting through this here. There's Kendrick up on the outside of him. He just gets by. Good job by David Loomis.
I believe we will have a restart here.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. No, we're going to get a chance to restart this.
And Donnie's going to have a shot. He's going to have to make that high side work. I don't know. We haven't really seen it ran much lately.
Remember, though, Donnie's been a monster on these restarts from the top side.
He's just going to make it work for 2 laps. That's all he's got to do. So, and if he can't, you look to 3rd place, and John Holcomb, he might be able to get under the inside of Moore and maybe pick up another spot.
Yeah, the man in the black race car back there, the dark horse in this race now. John Holcomb started in 14th. Yeah, John Holcomb, he started all the way at the back of this race. Right now finds himself here with a podium, possibly a win. We're going to see here. They're going to come by the start-finish line here with 2 laps left to go. The lights are still on the pace car. Wow. We are not going to get to finish this race on the green.
Darn it.
Kendrick getting the wave around.
I thought it, like, the caution came out around lap 94, which I thought you would maybe get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Our director reminded us that it might have been where the leader was on track when the flag came out that really affected exactly how many laps under caution we had. All right, that's fine. We'll take it, though. And I'm sure J.R. Shepherd, Donnie Moore, I can't talk enough about this driver, Donnie Moore. And even though JR is going to get the win, Donnie Moore doing, again, just what he needs to stay in this championship hunt. He is not out of this at all. And we're going across now with 1 lap to go. The white flag is out. I'm sorry, that is the checkers. Okay. My timing and scoring lying to me there. There we go. The checker flag is out. And J.R. Shepherd winning the Outlaw 100 tonight. Great win for JR. Second, got to go to Donnie Moore. And John Holcomb going to find his way back to the podium. It's been a while, but we're definitely going to love to talk to John. Everybody going to peel in to the pits behind Donnie Moore. And J.R. Shepherd going to go around and celebrate this win. Great win for J.R. Shepherd. We're going to step away for just a brief moment here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Outlaw 100 from Southern National Motorsports Park. What a race this evening. Another big win for J.R. Shepherd here tonight, over 100 laps. And Donnie Moore going to finish right behind him. The points battle at the top ever so tight. John Holcomb making his return to the podium tonight. Third place for him. Dustin Powers, one of the newer guys around here, having a strong run. He'll finish fourth. Lowell Jewell, the number 5, finishes in 5. That's not bad. Lowell Jewell going to be good in the points again tonight. John Hine going to finish 6th. Ryan Detzler with a decent run, even though he had trouble out there. He's going to finish 7th. Lucas Denziano, good enough. He'll finish 8th and be up in that second row next week. Jeff Kendrick will finishes 9th. And David Loomis takes home the 10th spot. That slots him for the pole next week, Dawson.
Brendan Limecooler, we saw him get into a little bit of trouble there at the start and the end. Our newcomer, Brian Dean, finishes 12th. He was involved in that same accident. And then to round out the field, Matt Hoos and J.J. Garrett.
All right, so that's 14. Not all 14 finished this one, unfortunately. J.J. Garrett takes his behind them all. And Matt Hoos going to come up a little short also. But let's talk to J.R. Shepherd. J.R., you win another one. Donnie Moore said he didn't have anything for you this week. In fact, he did. That was a pretty good race there when you guys were close.
Yeah, absolutely. Donnie's a little bit humble. That's why we like him too, though. But he's been extremely fast all night tonight, and I think just in that one run there, he just kind of got tight and pushed up the track a little bit. That's the only reason I really got by him there. So if that hadn't happened, who knows?
He was a monster on the restarts tonight, man. From the top side, he seemed to have it dialed in, but in the end. This race was about you being up in the clean air and really just being able to just wheel it around for a casual drive.
Yeah, you really have to conserve your tires here at Southern National, and it's one of those tracks that if you overdrive and abuse the front tires early, you're going to pay for it. So I was really just trying to ride around and take care of the equipment, and I got a little loose there at one point. Got a little high, trying a different line. I thought as we went into the run, the higher line might work, but I was incorrect.
Yeah, well, you figured it out in the end. JR, I don't have to tell you, Donnie Moore finishes 2nd. Yeah, you're going to gain another point. He's only going to be a couple of points behind you, but you've got some pressure here, buddy, over these next few races. Really, I know, everybody watching probably knows anything can happen, can it?
Yeah, absolutely. And good luck only lasts so long, so it's going to eventually run out. And there's a lot of racing left. Donnie's good at pretty much every track that we go to, so he's going to be extremely tough to handle here.
Well, buddy, you were too tough to handle for the rest of this field this evening. Again, congratulations. Go get your celebration on, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks, Sean. Big shout out to Donnie and John for finishing on the podium. Good racing tonight, and to Lowell Jewell and the Bootleg Racing League for allowing us to do this. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, J.R. Shepherd. And now it's time to talk to Mr. Donnie Moore, and Dawson is caught up with him.
Yeah, Donnie, 2nd place in the standings, 2nd place tonight. Again, damage control. You're only 2 points back now, just losing just 1 more point. All you need is just 1 race here, and you'll be able to get it. But how are you feeling tonight?
Jeez. A little frustrated. If I could finish 2nd to a different winner every week, I'd be in good shape right now. But yeah, I mean, we gotta stop JR. He's just unstoppable. Actually, he's so fast.
Yeah, he was able to really build that lead. But more about that on the restarts. We saw you were beating the leader to the line. You beat JR to the line. And you were getting a great start, but it just seemed like that top side didn't have enough grip.
Yeah, I was getting good starts. A little risky. I know there was a quick green flags all night here at this track. So, it was lap 15 there. I took the lead on the outside. That was a good restart. But eventually, JR comes and he gets by me. So it's frustrating. We gotta go back to the drawing board, Dawson. Hey, great racing from John Holcomb tonight too, and earlier on Loomis. Congrats to them.
Well, Donnie, keep your head up. You're only 2 points back. That's not much. I know JR. He's a fast man, but all it takes is one bad race from him, and you could really have this lead. Next week's Southern Boston. You think maybe you can make it happen there?
I'm gonna keep showing up. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, Donnie Moore, he's your second place finisher. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks so much, Dawson.
All right, that's Donnie Moore. Now John Holcomb, our third place finisher. Sean, you've caught up with him.
I have. John, welcome back to the podium, buddy. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, it has been a while. Good to see you, Sean.
Yeah, man. But what a run out there. It was pretty competitive racing going on here this evening at Southern National.
Yeah, it was. Everybody's speeds were so close. It was pretty tight, but it was a blast to come from the back and get up there.
Yeah, well, that's what I want to talk about. You came from the back, from the very back. What kind of a challenge was that over the length of this race?
In a league with this kind of talent, it was a great challenge. I can put it that way. A couple lucky breaks and some decent driving, and it got me up there. But boy, she was something to hold on to those last 20 laps.
Yeah, well, okay. So were you racing it really hard there in the beginning of the race? Did you maybe use them up a little bit too much and had to just kind of hang on there at the end?
Oh, I definitely did. Yeah, I definitely did. I was fighting her, like I said, at least the last 20 laps, and I know Dustin was coming for me. I think I could have held him off, but I know he was gaining.
He was. Dustin was definitely, he was working on you. I just kept looking out there wondering if you had a shot to get Donnie in the end. Like you said, maybe the tires a little bit too hot, but boy, what a finish for you tonight. It would be good for you to finish this season with a little bit of momentum going into next.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of the points since I've missed so many this season, so it's just racing for the races and get the seat time in right now, but it's always good to finish good.
Well, all right, so it's time to start working on next season and keep doing that with these great podium finishes here over the next few races, and you'll be in good shape, buddy.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to my brother Bill and Pam and my wife Mindy, and I want to give a shout out to GSRC and what you guys do, and to the Lowell and the league, man. It's a blast out here.
John, thank you, buddy. We appreciate the thanks and the sentiment. We will see you next week, buddy.
Take care, guys.
All right, Dawson. John Holcomb, a big podium finish for him tonight. Hasn't been able to run all of these races this season, and when he can come out and put in a top 3 effort like he did tonight, drive all the way through the field to get there, I think he was in a good place tonight. And Dawson, I was in a good place watching this race with you, buddy. Yeah, were you looking forward to next week already?
Oh yeah, I like next week's track. That's Southern Boston. That's a fun track. A lot of history there. It should be a blast. All right. Well, we want to thank the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more series information about the Bootleg Racing League, we want you to visit their website, bootlegracingleague.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Facebook. Just go there and type in Bootleg Racing League. You'll pick them up there. We can't forget to tell you a little bit about next season coming up. In October, the BRL Grand National Series will be making its return. They've got details on that website. Going to be running on Friday nights. Now, this won't be no plans to televise this here immediately, but they will be running the Grand National Series 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll run October through March. Sign up with the Bootleg Racing League. Get a chance to have a little fun on Friday nights and Saturdays this fall. Look for the Street Stocks, the Pro Truck Series, and the Outlaw Modified Series to be back on Saturday nights. But let's thank everybody again for this broadcast tonight. We will see you next week
for GSRC's coverage from Old Sobo. That's right, folks. We head to South Boston, Virginia. Be there with us at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, August the 28th, for information about that and other things concerning GSRC. Your best bet is the Global Sim Racing Channel, GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, and yes, we're on Facebook too. Type in Global Sim Racing Channel, you'll find us. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen now and that we use on our broadcasts. And remember, the original music that you always hear here on our broadcasts is thanks to Erica Colm and Casey Lalonde. Their information on how to contact them is right there also. Now finally, on behalf of my partner this evening, Dawson Brock, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. For now, I'm putting a lock on the gate. We're going to go have a little bit of fun storming the castle. Till next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.